Greetings, everyone, and a very warm welcome. My name is Professor Courtie Mahamadi, the Pro Vice Chancellor of Research, Innovation, and Industrialization. Well, I'm thrilled that you have chosen to join our program, iCREATE BUSE, Students Innovation Vacation Training Program. Over the next few weeks, we are going to embark on an exciting journey together. And I see this program as a catalyst for creating impactful solutions and fostering entrepreneurship. Therefore, your availability, particularly during your vacation, shows a real commitment to your future and to making a difference. Before we dive in, I want to acknowledge a significant milestone for our institution. As you can see from our Silver Jubilee logo, we are celebrating 25 years of excellence and impact. Therefore, programs like this one, focused on you students, the next generation of innovators, are central to our vision for the coming years. So what is our main goal here? Well, simply put, our aim is to spark innovation and creativity within each one of you. We have 4 sessions lined up. Today, we will lay the groundwork. In our following sessions, we will get practical with tools for idea generation. We will talk about building effective teams and pitching your ideas. And finally, we will cover the essentials of intellectual property. However, before we go any further, let's just take a snapshot of some of the exciting innovations that have taken place at your university. These range from software products to cosmeceuticals, as well as household and industrial chemicals. So, what is innovation? When you hear the word innovation, what really comes to mind? It's more than just a buzzword. I define it as identifying a problem and developing a creative, valuable, and implementable way to solve it. Ultimately, innovation is about creating value by implementing new ideas. For example, the pulp devices you see here are a perfect case of this principle in action, born right out of our ecosystem. Now, at this point, it's very important to distinguish between an invention and an innovation. It is therefore crucial to understand the difference between the two. An invention is creating something entirely new, like what was done by Thomas Edison when he developed the first the first light bulb. But an innovation is the application or improvement of ideas to create value. The evolution from Edison's light or bulb to the now, the energy efficient LED lights that we use today is a perfect example of an innovation. It takes a concept and it makes it better and more valuable. So what are the key elements of innovation? We can present these by an acronym, PIVOT, meaning people, implementation, value creation, original ideas or originality, and transformation. Innovation is by people, often through collaboration, and an idea is only innovative once it's put into action and it delivers a result. So it requires implementation. It has to create value. The ultimate goal is to add value, whether it's economic, social, or personal. And the ideas typically have to be original or new. It all starts with a fresh perspective on a challenge or opportunity. Then finally, it has to transform lives. Meaningful change when new ideas are successfully implemented to create value for people, leading to improved systems, experiences, or outcomes. Now, it's also therefore important that we create an innovators mindset. The question is, how do you become an innovator? Well, it starts with your mind. You have to change your mindset. You have to work on your mindset. I want you to cultivate basically 5 key traits that are very important. Number 1, curiosity. Always be asking why and what if. We are saying you should always be querying the situation. Ask, why is it like this? Why does it happen this way? Why do we do it this way? What if? Secondly, you have a problem-solving orientation. When you come across challenges, see the challenges as opportunities. Number 3, embrace the future. You have to learn from your setbacks and look forward to the future. Fourthly, you have to develop a collaborative spirit. Innovation is all about team sport. And finally, be action-oriented. You have a bias for doing, testing, and learning. Now, you may be asking, how do I get support? That's when your university comes in. So, your university is actually a hub of innovation. Let's bring this a bit home, much closer home. Your university is more than just a place for lectures and examinations. It's in fact a dynamic ecosystem designed to support your journey from idea to real-world impact. Actually, as a response to the Education 5.0 policy, you know that now universities have built innovation hubs. And you students, you now have to develop innovations. And even when you embark on your research projects for your degree programs, they have to be innovative projects. They have to solve a problem, a real problem, a real world problem. You have to propose a solution. We look forward to seeing students actually eventually forming startup companies arising from their innovative work. Therefore, the building that you see here, in fact, is our innovation hub. Maybe some of you have been here. It is the heart of that ecosystem. It's a dedicated space for incubating and developing your innovative concepts with support given, such as the Vice Chancellor's Creativity and Innovation Grant for students, where students get funding to support their creative ideas, to troubleshoot, to experiment, to develop their concepts, to develop what we call prototypes or proof of concepts. So when you have an idea, you apply to the Innovation Hub and your idea is incubated. And also at the Innovation Hub, you get mentorship and assistance to build multidisciplinary teams. So it's a very important aspect for you to really learn about that. We also appreciate that now the university has established an industrial park, the former Astra campus. And that's where now we require input from, the university community, the lecturers, the students like you, and even the outside community like industrial partners. Then, of course, when we have those inputs, they have now to be processed, and we have innovation management and business development. These form the processing element of the ecosystem. The innovation management, this is where the ideas are nurtured and developed into working prototypes. And of course, on business development, the incubation and acceleration of ideas into bankable proposals and predictable sales. And eventually, of course, we get outputs where we now have the startup companies that can now be established at the industrial park. And this is very, very important for you to appreciate. And I show you here the model that we use that I've just been describing, that if the inputs, then the engine, that is the processing, where we have innovation management and business development, and of course the outputs, which can be in the form of startups, patent selling, you can sell your patent, or you can actually license your patent. And there are various ways in which now you can actually monetize your innovations. And we show you here the various business models that can be used. Like I said before, you can form a spin-off or startup company. You can actually engage in product acquisition and licensing. You can actually do contract product development. For example, when you go on attachment, you can identify a problem in the company, and you can actually be contracted to develop a solution for the company. So you do what we call contract product development. Or we can actually then form invest enterprises. You can have outright sale of your intellectual property, or they can actually be a joint venture that can actually be formed. So we are then going to give you, as we wrap up, just to test your appreciation of these very basic concepts that we've just introduced in session 1. Session 1 was just meant to introduce the basics and just get started. But we are going to have a multiple choice question paper that will be shared on WhatsApp, so that you can actually, just test your understanding on some of these concepts. But probably before we finalize, just, riding on what we've discussed today, I want you to identify one problem on campus, or in your community, or in the city, or in the country at large, that you think could be solved with an innovative solution. As you do that, also try to think what other alternative solutions are already available to solve the same problem, if any. Now, how do your proposed innovation then try to solve this problem? What is your innovation idea? Describe the idea in one paragraph and maximum half a page. When you do that, please inbox your ideas to my WhatsApp. And kindly note that all ideas shared will be treated as confidential and protected for intellectual property. Thank you.